We're talking about the results of the Female Nation survey, and today we're talking about sex, specifically infidelity and cheating. And in the studio with me, I have Dorothy Black, sex journalist and Women24 sex columnist.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Thanks to have me here.
The other thing that I think is quite obvious, but I found it rather touching, was that only 15 out of this whole group, where 24% no and I think another 25% suspect, only 15% of widowed women think their partner ever had an affair. Whereas over 53% of divorced women say
they absolutely did.
So, I mean, it's kind of, are we, the dead can do no ill?
I think so,
And your bastard ex-husband, of course, he had it. Do you think
you have to demonize? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to. I think a lot of it's very easy and it's very necessary, and I think a lot of people go through the demonizing phase after a breakup. And if you're widowed, then you don't necessarily go through that phase. So,
well, I guess that's better. Now, I don't know if you saw this one. So, 13% of women actually want to have an affair, and funnily enough, it didn't really make a difference whether they would get caught out or not, because the question was asked in the sense that, would you have an affair?
Yeah.
Or would you have an affair if you were 100% guaranteed that you wouldn't get caught out?
Yeah.
And I think 15 or 16% said if they wouldn't get caught out, and 13% said, oh, whatever, they just want to have an affair.
Yeah. You know what, I think affairs are much like threesomes. People, when you're stuck in a very sort of day-to-day 9-to-5 existence where you're trying to build a life with someone, I think there are certain fantasies that become very attractive.
Yes.
And an affair becomes the kind of verboten, thrill-seeking thing. So I think when they say that they would, I really do believe that they would subscribe to the fantasy of it. That it seems like a great idea, but actually doing it and actually facing the consequences then emotionally, and then what happens, that doesn't form part of it. Yeah. So I'm actually, again, I'm surprised that number isn't higher, because we like fantasy. We love, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, that there's going to be a lot more fun on the other side.
I think maybe if we phrased it differently and called it some sort of romance.
Right.
I think affair is a hard word for a lot of women, especially, no one wants to be the baddie.
Right. No one wants to be the baddie. That's interesting. That's interesting that you say that. Yeah. I think if you had to change that word, like if you had to change it from affair where they wouldn't necessarily be the bad guy, I wonder how that number would change.